From creepy old castles whose many halls are roamed by the violent, restless spirits of those betrayed within them long ago, to historic military barracks harboring the threatening ghosts of soldiers tied to their bounds in lives since extinguished. Are you sure you're ready to brave my picks for 5 dangerous haunted places you should probably avoid at all costs? Number 5. The Ancient Ram Inn. The Ancient Ram Inn, located in Watton-under-Edge, Gloucestershire, England, is a centuries-old inn with a fascinating history and a fierce reputation for being one of the most dangerously haunted places in its country. Historically, the Ancient Ram Inn dates back to the 12th century and is believed to have been built on the site of an ancient pagan burial ground, which is always a good idea, right? Over the centuries, the inn has served various purposes, including as housing for workers building the nearby St. Mary's Church and as a public house, and its architectural style reflects its long history with features such as classic timber framing and low ceilings. Disturbingly, this old inn has witnessed numerous events and is rumored to have connections to dark and mysterious occurrences. It's said to have been a gathering place for practitioners of black magic and witchcraft during the medieval period, and additionally, the building is believed to have been used as a brothel and a place for arcane arts and rituals. In 1968, John Humphreys purchased the Ancient Ram Inn and embarked on restoring the building, during which time he claimed to have encountered numerous inexplicable phenomena, which only intensified the inn's reputation as a haunted location. One of the most infamous rooms in the Ancient Ram is known as the Witch's Room. This wicked space is believed to be a hotspot for paranormal activity, and visitors to its bounds have reported feeling a strong presence, sudden drops in temperature, and hearing unexplained whispers and demonic voices that emanate from thin air. Guests to the inn have also reported shadowy figures that move throughout the building that are often sighted in corridors, rooms, and even in the ancient chimney, while others have told of objects being thrown across rooms by an unseen force, or of furniture shifting, doors slamming shut, and footsteps when no one else is present. Both visitors and staff have heard unexplained footsteps, moans, cries, and disembodied voices echoing throughout the inn, while others have described hearing the eerie sounds of children laughing and playing about. Additionally, many who have visited the Ancient Ram have reported feeling intense emotions of sadness, fear, unease, or even of depression, and some have experienced physical sensations such as of being touched, hit, or pushed by an unseen force. On a closing note, the Ancient Ram Inn offers ghost tours and overnight stays for those brave enough to explore its paranormal activity firsthand, which provides for a thrilling experience and opportunity for those interested to form their own conclusions. Number 4. The Babenhausen Barracks. The Babenhausen Barracks, located in Hesse, Germany, is a historic military complex with an intricate history and chilling reputation surrounding its volatile supernatural activity. Historically, the Babenhausen Barracks, also known as the Babenhausen Kaserne, was originally established through the late 17th century as a training grounds for cavalry units. Over time, this complex expanded and developed into a significant military base for various units, including the Hessian Army and later the German Army. Through World War II, the barracks were heavily damaged, but they were subsequently rebuilt and continued to serve as a military facility. And following the end of the war, they would become headquarters to the United States Army's 45th and later 8th Infantry Divisions. The Babenhausen Barracks played a vital role through the Cold War as training grounds for NATO forces. Notably, the site housed American troops until 2007 when it was handed back to the German government, and today parts of the complex are used for civilian purposes while others remain abandoned. The Babenhausen Barracks has gained a reputation for extreme paranormal activity on site, and many claim to have witnessed ghostly manifestations across its premises. Several have reported spying apparitions of soldiers dressed in outdated uniforms believed to be from different eras that are often observed marching or patrolling the barracks' grounds or appearing in windows or doorways before vanishing, and many have described these forms as transparent or slightly glowing. Another prominent specter reported at the Babenhausen Barracks is that of a lady in white. Witnesses have described sighting this woman dressed in a glowing white gown wandering through the building or strolling the grounds, with some claiming that she emits an ethereal trail and leaves in her wake unnaturally cold patches. Both visitors and former personnel of the barracks have also frequently reported hearing unexplained noises and disembodied voices, including footsteps, muffled conversations, cries, and whispers, all that echo through the empty buildings, and some have even reported hearing military commands or the clattering of equipment. Additionally, there have been accounts of poltergeist-like phenomena occurring within the barracks, with objects sighted moving on their own or even being thrown violently across rooms, doors slamming shut spontaneously, and lights flickering without any logical explanation. Finally, many visitors to the barracks have described feelings of unease or discomfort or of being watched, and cold spots, sudden drops in temperature, and the sensations of being touched or brushed up against by unseen hands are all but common. Number 3. The Monte Cristo Homestead. The Monte Cristo Homestead, located in Junee, New South Wales, Australia, is a historic mansion with a dark and intriguing history that's widely considered one of the most haunted locations in its country. Historically, the Monte Cristo Homestead was built in 1884 by Christopher William Crawley, a wealthy grazier, and was a grand example of Victorian architecture, featuring 2 stories, wraparound verandas, and intricate detailing. Notably, it was named after the novel The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas, which, might I add, is actually one of my favorite classics. The Crawley family resided in this homestead for nearly 100 years, during which time several tragic events unfolded. Reports suggest that the homestead was plagued by misfortune, accidents, and mysterious fatalities, including the deaths of a maid who fell from the balcony, of a stable boy who was critically burned, and of a young child who was dropped down the stairs by a nanny. Later, the prestigious abode was abandoned for several years before being purchased by Reg and Olive Ryan in 1963. Since the date of its purchase, the Ryan family has embarked on a mission to restore the property and purportedly has encountered numerous paranormal experiences, which sparked widespread interest in the haunted reputation of the Monte Cristo homestead. Not surprisingly, the homestead is renowned for its alleged hauntings and ghostly encounters, which often verge on dangerous. It's believed that the spirit of Mrs. Crawley, the original lady of the house, lingers in the mansion, and visitors have reported observing her apparition dressed in Victorian-era clothing, which is often spotted near the stairs or in upper rooms. The tower room of the Monte Cristo homestead is said to be particularly active, and there, guests and staff members have reported unexplained cold spots, strange odors, and the feeling of being watched by someone or something unseen. And some have even claimed to be physically touched or pushed by whatever it is that lurks there. Disembodied voices, laughter, and the disturbing crying of children has been reported throughout the house when no one else is present, and numerous accounts mention objects being moved or thrown aggressively by unseen hands. Incidentally, furniture also tends to rearrange itself, and items inexplicably shift positions, suggesting poltergeist activity within. Additionally, witnesses have described sighting full-bodied apparitions and shadowy figures throughout the property, and some have told of encounters with a tall man dressed in period clothing, believed to be the ghost of a former caretaker. These alleged hauntings have attracted paranormal investigators and enthusiasts from far and wide, and the Monte Cristo homestead actually offers ghost tours and overnight stays for those few who dare seek a first-hand experience with reported phenomena. Number 2. The Halifax Citadel National Historic Site. The Halifax Citadel National Historic Site, located in Halifax, Nova Scotia, in Canada, is a prominent historical landmark with a rich history and numerous tales of threatening haunted activity. The Halifax Citadel was constructed in the mid-18th century to defend the strategic Halifax harbor against potential attacks, with initial fortifications built in 1749 and later expanded and strengthened upon over its many years. This citadel played a significant role in the defense of Halifax during several conflicts, including the American Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, and both World Wars I and II. Over its centuries, the citadel underwent various transformations and improvements reflecting changing military strategies and technologies, and served as a military base, garrison, and training center housing British, Canadian, and other Allied troops. Its fortifications were gradually modernized until the early 20th century when they ultimately became obsolete for defensive purposes. In 1951, the Halifax Citadel was declared a National Historic Site, undergoing extensive restorations to preserve its historical significance, and today it stands as a popular tourist attraction, offering guided tours, exhibits, and reenactments to showcase its military past. Chillingly, the Halifax Citadel has gained a monstrous reputation for being haunted, with countless reports of sinister paranormal activity documented within. One of the most famous hauntings at the Halifax Citadel involves a ghostly apparition known as the Old Hag. According to associated legends, the ghost of this mysterious woman haunts the area, particularly near the soldiers' barracks, and witnesses have reported feeling a heavy weight on their chests while sleeping, making it difficult to breathe, and even resulting in medical action. Another well-known ghostly presence is the Lady in Blue. This apparition is said to manifest as a woman dressed in a blue Victorian-era gown, and witnesses have reported observing her wandering through the tunnels and ramparts of the Citadel, with some even claiming to hear her footsteps echoing through its empty corridors. One common tale associated with the Halifax Citadel involves the sound of bagpipes echoing through the fortification. The source of this phenomena is believed to be the ghost of a piper who was killed during battle, and both visitors and staff have reported hearing the haunting melodies of his bagpipe music when no one else is around. Additionally, several supernatural accounts mention the eerie sounds of children's laughter echoing within the Citadel, with visitors describing hearing playful laughter and the sound of running footsteps even when no children are present on site. Strangely, the origin behind this phenomena remains a mystery. Lastly, numerous visitors and staff members have reported other unexplained events within the Citadel's walls, including shadowy figures spied out of the corner of one's eye, sudden drops in temperature, doors opening and closing violently by themselves, and objects moving inexplicably. Number 1. The Chateau de Brissac. The Chateau de Brissac, located in the commune of Brissac-Quince in the Maine-et-Loire department of France, is a magnificent castle with a fascinating history and a reputation for being one of the most wickedly haunted castles in France, if not in all of Europe. This chateau has a long and storied history that dates back to the 11th century, when it was originally a fortress built by the Counts of Anjou to guard the borders of Anjou and Brittany. Over the centuries, it underwent several architectural transformations, with each owner leaving their own unique mark on the castle's structure. In the 15th century, the castle was acquired by nobleman Pierre de Brézy, who served as a chamberlain to King Charles VII, and who commissioned the construction of a Renaissance-style palace on site, transforming the fortress into an elegant residence. The castle remained in the de Brézy family for several generations until it was later acquired by the Dukes of Brissac in the 17th century. During the French Revolution, the Chateau de Brissac was confiscated as national property and sold. However, it was eventually repurchased by the Dukes of Brissac in the 19th century. Today, the castle remains in the hands of the Cos-Brissac family, who continue to reside on site. Not surprisingly, this aged chateau has earned a reputation for its paranormal activity, with several reported hauntings that have intrigued and also downright terrified visitors and ghost enthusiasts alike. One of the most famous spirits at the Chateau de Brissac is that of a Green Lady, or La Dame Verte. According to legend, the Green Lady was the illegitimate daughter of King Charles VII and of Agnes Sorel, his mistress. In life, she fell in love with Jacques de Brézy, one of the castle's owners, and was brutally murdered by her husband when he discovered their affair. The Green Lady is said to wander the halls of the castle, clad in a green dress, and is often associated with the scent of mimosa. Jacques de Brézy, husband of the Green Lady, is also said to haunt the castle. As legend has it, he can be seen in the chapel, wielding a sword and appearing as an ominous or even threatening shadowy figure. Incidentally, it's believed that he's doomed to roam the castle eternally, seeking revenge for his wife's infidelity and exacting it upon any foolish enough to cross his path. Visitors to the chateau have also reported hearing strange cries and whispers echoing throughout its corridors, particularly in the late hours of the night, and some have even claimed to hear the agonizing screams of the Green Lady, reliving the final moments of her brutal murder. Another ghostly manifestation that has been reported across castle grounds is that of a mysterious monk, with witnesses claiming to spy this hooded figure silently gliding through various rooms before disappearing into thin air. Notably, the origin and identity of this ghostly form remain up for debate. Lastly, and on a somewhat lighter note, there have been accounts of phantom parties taking place at Chateau de Brissac, with guests reporting hearing the echoing sounds of laughter, of music, and of revelry emanating from empty rooms, and some even claiming to have observed ghostly figures dressed in period clothing dancing and celebrating late into the night. Taking its fascinating history into account, and coupling it with such a terrifying range of purported reported paranormal activity and associated tales of otherworldly encounters, I felt the Chateau de Brissac was a perfect choice to top this list of 5 dangerous haunted places you probably should never visit. Thanks for joining me for my list of picks for 5 dangerous haunted places you definitely shouldn't visit. If you enjoyed hearing my histories and ghost stories, subscribe to my channel, like this upload, and share me with anyone you feel could use a good scare. Until next time.